since we unfairly failed to have my contract renewed, the Labour Court gyetwatandika nempangula about 90% kubanga bajulira nga gwe twakola submission ennungi emu n'abijjako element emu, so I won about 90%. Naye era ne basigala nga NSSF tebakoze eki, tebamusasudde. Kati nali nga alina okuva mu nnyumba tugenda okulaba nga NSSF taliiyo, so Employment Act ekugaana okuva mu nnyumba. The onus is on the victim not to leave the house until the last shilling is paid. So they cannot be failing to evict me in a manner that befits their reputation if it is still existing. Court order buli kimu bakikola illegally with high-handedness and impunity. Nenga that is Nawangwe's style of management, and Chilanda the accounting officer kubanga yabadde financing bino byonna administered by Gordon Mulangira, personal assistant wa Nawangwe. We got an opportunity to meet the president last year around November. I think it was about 24th. So when they learned of that, ku 6th December ne bajja ne bakuba ennyumba gye twali tubeeramu ne bagikuba yonna amadirisa, so tubadde tugisulamu nga teriko madirisa. The same group kati ne bakomawo after 10 days, that makes it 16th, ne bakuba emmotoka zaffe zonna, ebifaananyi tubiina naye babigendedde mu masimu. Kati obujulizi babadde babwagala, so they are trying to destroy evidence. So kati kino kye bakomyewo naye nga tebannakuba mmotoka ezo, basooka kuteekayo 62 millions as part of the 290 millions zembabanja. 62 million bazikola account just savingira mu MABS. Kati baziteekayo nengezaako za accessing last month. MABS ina requirements, one of which is should be cleared by a former employer. How does that? I wonder how that lines with pension money. How can your employer approve access to your pension? So kiraga nti ne MABS yenyini saving scheme ya Makerere connives with Makerere to witch hunt or torture staff. So I've not had access to that money, meaning that they have not actually paid. It makes that 62 million null and void. I was called from work. My son of 2 years was sick, so I came here. Immediately after treatment, we went back home. So after he had taken his medication, they went to bed, and as I was still watching TV, I overheard the gate and the dogs. So I peeped and I saw a Fuso reversing into the gate and the compound, and I'm unmounted about 35 goons. So I rushed to the bedroom to pick my laptop, watch and phone, and as I was doing that, they forced the front door of the house open and they entered. So we met in the corridors. So we engaged into a scuffle. They started hitting me, and I was surprised when they said, "You think this house was given to you by Museveni? You pretend to know Museveni. And is this your house? Where is the phone? Where is money? And where is the laptop?" So that switched me to understand that they are actually trying to derail the evidence I'm trying to compile against them, because those are the tools I use to process my communications and evidence. So they hit me back and forth with pangers. They had crowbars. They had these big hammers, and they started taking out most of the valuable things, some of which I had. I had some electronics gadgets that I had imported from Dubai, about 6 boxes, about worth at least 40 to 50 million. So they started sharing these gadgets amongst themselves. And among other things that they actually loaded on the truck. So when they finally took me out and made me sit down, I timed as they were concentrated on one end, and I ran towards my neighbors, then towards our chairman, village chairman, who led me to police Wandegear, which seemed to be unbothered. But as we were there, the truck was trying to take off, and it tried to wait for its turn boy. So the chairman confronted the truck driver, who sped off, leaving the turn boy behind. So we resorted to border people who chased the turn boy and managed to apprehend him with the help of some military police or soldiers, and he was brought to Wandegear as suspect number 1. So in the same time, some 3 motorbikes with police officers from Wandegear chased the truck. They came back empty-handed, only that we've heard they were bribed 200,000 Ugandan shillings to let the truck go. And the evidence has been collected with statements in Kajans with my lawyers. Yeah, some time back when my contract has just ended, I had a labor court case where I was demanding terminal benefits, gratuity, science money mainly. But as we won 90% after the appeal, as they try to pay, because those are salary areas, they try to set off pay as you earn of about 40 million and some about 27 million of NSSF. So as they deposited it, on checking my statement at NSSF, I realized that all along they were never paying my NSSF. So, and I've been demanding for this NSSF. We've met with them in meetings promising to pay, but instead their response has always been violent. And I've always resisted leaving that house, given the Employment Act that empowers an employer being housed by employer to stay in the house, and the onus is on the employer not to accept to leave the house, whether they are pushing them out forcefully or not. So until they came today without court order, and they did what I narrated earlier. I said earlier that we got a chance to meet the president completely on other issues. They were not, it was a condolence sort of meeting, so we did not want to engage into these things actually. We stayed it. But when they learned about it, they disguised to be paying 62 million to an account in MABS where I had not prior had an account. I've always saved with NSSF. But to access that resource from MABS, there's a clause within the MABS policy where it says Makele should approve access to those funds. Clearly they need clearance from the employer, which in a way is not fair, and this is evident that Makere and MABS are conniving to frustrate employees. This is a serious matter because pension benefits are not something anyone can play with. That is the first money people who have lost their jobs are expected to use to help them thrive. Esimu bazitutte, ATM cards bazitutte, buli kimu kyensobola okukozesa okufuna ssente bakitutte. So accessing money at the moment kizibuzibu.
Nabadde ndi wano nga ntuddeko zabadde ssaawa 7 ogw'ekiro. Adde ntudde awo wabweru ne nvaawo nsobole okuyingira mu nju okwebaka. Nadde nkyali mu nju ne mpulira Fuso wabweru ku kika kimu ekya Miginoni. Ssaawa zabadde 7. ng'epakinze nasoose kuwulira kulekana kw'abantu ne parking awo wabweru ne beggulira gate eyo basobola okuyingira wano naye nga bayitirivu era bangi batasobola kubaako ng'egyewubengangamu. Bwe navudde eyo nze nga ndi wali mu ddinisa mbalingiza ng'era mbalaba. Nagenze owulira bakuba oluggi lw'emmanju, mu kutandika okkuba oluggi lw'emmanju atandika ku mmotoka okusobola okubitwala era byonna byonna babitutte, ntebe biki TV byonna byonna n'ebintu by'omusajja eby'ebbeeyi byonna byonna babitutte ne babitwala. Olwamaze nze neefulumamu ngende ku poliisi. Bwe nagenze ku poliisi afande gwe nasooseewo yaŋŋambye kimu, nze ndiwo bwomu sigenda kusobola kukola ki kukuyamba. Poliisi ya wano Makerere muno munda. Bwe navudde awo ne nziruka emisinde ne ngenda ku poliisi y'e Wandegeya. Bwe nagenze ku poliisi y'e Wandegeya nasanzeewo omukyala ne mubuulira ensonga zange nti twetaaga obuyambi wano Makerere munda wa mwami Kitumba. Teyasobodde kunfaako nnyo kyamaanyi ne ntuula okumala ssaawa nga nnamba ng'akyali ku ssimu ye gy'akuba emu nga simanyi oba akuba simu kika ki. Yagirudiddeko ebbanga ddene ng'agiremeddeko. Ekyavuddemu n'amaana ava ku ssimu ye n'amaana abaako amasimu g'akuba n'aŋŋamba va wano ku poliisi n'aŋŋamba genda mu bitaala e Wandegeya. Bwe nagenze mu bitaala e Wandegeya n'aŋŋamba yimirira awo abapaatuwo bagenda kujja bakole ki bakupiikingewo mugende. Nalinze abapaatuwo baŋŋamba okupiikingawo kumpiikingawo tujje nga sibalaba. Ne ntuuka ekiseera nenzijja ne maa nenkomawo kewaka bannaye nga abasajja bakyapaakinga bintu mu fuso bali mu bitwala. Babadde abasajja bangi sijja kugamba nti babadde 10. Awo muzeeyi n'ayamba n'asobola okubasimatukako n'adduka emisinde. Yansanze wali mmanga nga nnyimiridde ne mugamba muzeeyi wano tetukola ki tetubeerawo tugende ku poliisi. Bwe twagenze ku poliisi n'asobola okukola statement nga bwe yagikoze. Netubeerawo ku poliisi naye nga kyewuunyisa n'abasajja bakyaliyo nga tusobole nafuna buyambi bugamba nti poliisi okwanguwa okujja okusobola okutaasaawa ewaka. Nga mukyala we bw'agamba nti tokuba mwami wange mumuleke temumukuba, ng'abamu bagamba mutte tugende kiriti nti mutte tugende. Abamu bagamba sooka olindeko, abamu bagamba mutte tugende, abamu bagamba sooka olindeko. Musajja watu nasobola basimatukako nga bamufulumiza wano wabweru nga bamusibye emikono. Olwamaze omusibya emikono ne bamala ne bamusumulamuko ne bamuwamuko ku time n'amaana abasimatukako n'adduka.
Police in Wandegeya are investigating a case of suspected theft that was reported by engineer Frank Kitumba. This case was reported last night. It is alleged that some people came with a numberless fuso truck, proceeded and packed all the properties that are in engineer Frank's house there in Makerere, and after parking them in the fuso, they drove away towards Entebbe. When police received this information, they alerted all police units to be on the lookout for the numberless fuso truck, and if they could see it, the message was given that it should be impounded and Wandegeya police should be informed. And indeed, our police patrollers who are around Kajansi monitored and saw that motor vehicle and impounded it, and it is right now parked at Kajansi police. One suspect has been arrested. This is one of the people who was loading the truck, and he is right now detained and charged with the offense of theft. Police has now gone back to the scene to document the scene, to record statement from relevant witnesses, and to see any exhibits they can recover to be added on the file. The file will be processed. After processing the file, the file will be sent to State Attorney for perusal and legal advice. So as per now, that is the